Hey guys, today we'll be doing something different. I'll be beating Super Mario Odyssey without letting go of the crouch button. And if you haven't already, make sure to like and subscribe, and let's get started. So first, let's go over the rules. First, I put some tape over my controller's DL button, so that I'm always crouching and I don't accidentally take my finger off. This means I'll always be crouching, except in certain situations, such as when holding a rock, which lets Mario run normally for some reason, or when bonking onto a wall, which lets Mario do a normal jump. Also, captures still are perfectly normal. The hardest part of this challenge was not a lack of movement options, as you might expect, but the fact that you cannot cap throw unless you do a backflip or a long jump first, because otherwise it would just do a roll. So now, let's just get started. Rolling is still perfectly normal and will be our main movement option in this run. I'll be splitting this into 2 or 3 parts, because of how much time editing takes. And now, we see our worst enemy, stairs. Frogs, like all captures, still are perfectly the same. And also, I have the whole run unedited in the description if you want proof. Copper is actually a lot harder than normal in this run, but still really easy. And now we're in Cascade. Just hit the dog with the rock for our first moon. Now, use the dino to skip straight to the boss. And bam! Murder her and steal her priceless heirlooms. Now grab a moon and leave. Now, we're in the Sand Kingdom. We just roll down and start practicing our gardening skills. But now, we can grab a moon and fall down a pipe to blackfoot ground pound into a moon. Now we just rob a bird to get their lunar loot. And backflip ground pound into a moon. Now just jump from a freezing icicle to gain another piece of green goodness. Now just grab a couple more. And get rich. And then grab the rest. Now, just roll back to the Odyssey. Missed the globe way too many times. And go to Lake. Now almost forget about a moon. Get it, and get the rest. And get the zipper. Now we have to get a fish and swim at a speed that even this oversized Lapras can get to get 3 moons that would otherwise be deadly to our water-producing plumber. Now it's time for the 3rd boss fight of the run, which is still easy. And with a couple of bonks, Ringo is dead, murdered by yours truly. Now Mario's in the Kingdom of the Wooded. Stomp on a bunny for 1 moon. Then bash 2 rocks together for another. And buy a 3rd. Before breaking Mario's skull open for a 4th. Then do triple hop with Nut Boy for a 5th. Get both moons in the worst sub-area in a game for the 6th and 7th. I have flashbacks. Have another moon with the green boy. For the jump that can cause the most time lost in a speedrun, but don't worry, it's still easy. Now, just feed the hat to the putrid plant, take a small detour, and get those 2 moons. Now break Mario's skull open for another time. And now, 2 moons later, it's time for what's usually the easiest boss fight, but it's actually slightly challenging now. But don't worry, like always, it's still easy. Just triple bonk him to his death. 1 more rabbit murdered. Now take his blue rocks and let's go stab Bowser. But first, oof, our first death, due to my own stupidity. And our second death, courtesy of Bowser. And my own stupidity once again, but mostly Bowser. Now Bowser's actually hard, due to his hat stopping us from cap throwing to cancel our long jump, so we should have to wait for it to stop, which lets Bowser run away, but it's still doable. But now that Bowser is dead, he comes back to life and shoots us down, which lands us on an island shaped like a palm tree. But that's all we have time for today. Come back later for part 2, and let's bash Mario's skull open.